I want to introduce you to a man and to a machine. Tim O Tuachaigh is here. He's principal of Gaelscoil Ros Eo in Rush in County Dublin. You're very welcome, Tim, to the studio.
Thanks
now,
very
let's
much.
take a look at this. This is an AED, or a defibrillator. You had cause to use a defibrillator very recently. Tell us what happened.
We did. We had a 9-year-old boy who collapsed in the yard at lunchtime. As it happened, the teacher was on duty. She was straight out of the box, as I say, from college. It was her first ever yard duty, and the boy collapsed on her watch out there. So she sent for me, and I went out to the yard, and we cleared the yard of the pupils that were out there. It didn't look good for him. He was in a bad way when I saw him. And,
unconscious?
Unconscious. He was breathing all right, but unconscious, and he wasn't responding at all. So we didn't know. We just didn't know what was after happening. My immediate thought was he's after getting a ferocious bang in the head. Something's after happening. But as we were standing over him, looking at him for, it seemed like hours, but it was seconds. I know it was seconds. We realised, yeah, this isn't good. And practically, I could see his breathing was getting further and further apart. The breaths were coming further and further apart. And he needed help. So we began CPR almost immediately, rang 999 at the same time, and got going doing CPR. And
someone ran to the local GAA
That's what I was just
club.
going to say. I don't even remember saying it, but they told me afterwards. I asked, who sent for the defib? And they said, you did. And I, oh, right, OK. So one of the teachers, actually the same girl, ran in to the GAA club. We're on the grounds. We're on the ground of St. Maurice GAA in Rush. The school's in temporary accommodation and prefabs there.
So you were able to grab the machine, or somebody
Girl
did,
grabbed it, brought it back out, put it down beside me. There was a girl from the GAA came out with it, opened it up for us and got it going. Now, these things are brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant.
And you'd never seen one before? You'd never used one before?
No, never, ever. I'd seen them hanging on walls, but I'd never, ever opened it.
Like we all do,
yeah.
but we never think we'd have cause to use one.
And you walk past it. But I see them now. But you open it up and it starts talking to you. It tells you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and you just have to listen. And
what did the ambulance man say to you afterwards, when all of this was...
In the end up, we had 3 fire brigades and an ambulance arrive, and there's a chief crew on all of those, and they were all came around shaking their heads at the end of it. When the boy was safely loaded onto the ambulance and heading out, they were all shaking their heads, and they were all of the same opinion. They were saying, I don't know who did that, that was fantastic. And we said to him, we didn't say too much, we were kind of saying thanks very much, and he said, what you did is not the normal thing. People kind of stand and wait, and they're unsure, so they're inclined not to have a go. They're afraid of doing something. They're afraid of making it worse. So the thing to do is don't stand back. Have a go off it. So
your use of that saved that boy's life?
There was 3 elements to it, really. The CPR, the defibrillation, and that we did it quickly.
How's he doing?
Very well, very well. Got out of hospital today, and we're looking forward to welcoming him back in a few weeks.
Good stuff. Well, look, you've been talking to the Sun about this, I know, and they ran the story about you. But you now want to see a defibrillator in every school in the country. You think it's the right thing to do? It
is. And I wouldn't have thought so before now, Claire, to be honest with you. I would have thought maybe this would be for older children, somewhere in their teens or something like that. I'd never heard of it. I'm 25 years teaching, and I'd never heard of a child having cardiac arrest in a primary school. And even the support services from NEPS, the school psychologist, it's not something that they're geared up for, is dealing with the cardiac arrest in the school. They offer support services, but not for this. So this is brand new for them as well. So all of the everything that I'm taught before is now gone by the wayside.
You think these should be in? Well, the Department of Health have told us that it's not their concern to talk to the Department of Education. So we spoke to the Department of Education, and they said the Board of Management decides whether the school has defibrillators. Good enough? So it's down to each school?
It is down to each school, and it is down to each Board of Management. But the one problem there is funds aren't provided for a defibrillator.
How much is a defibrillator?
About €1,200 to install it. To get the machine to have it installed is about €1,200. Sometimes that includes training as well. Sometimes you have to pay a bit extra for training, and some of them have a maintenance contract as well. Okay. So if you put it in, it costs you maybe just say $1,200 to put in and $500 a year after.
So you're saying some schools might be able to afford it, some schools might be able to fundraise for it, but not all, and you want it standardised across the board.
And some schools have already and taken it on their own back, and then others have had benefactors have given them. The one that was in for us was actually in by Apache Pizza. They'd put it into the GA club next door.
OK, so some companies will sponsor it.
They do. Okay. And this thing, there is no replacing this. Had we not had this, it would be a very different story for that boy today.
Okay. OK. So you want to see them installed?
Yeah, they
right
need
across
to be put into schools, and that's all.
Well, look, that's one part of the story. The other part of the story is that you saved that boy's life.
We did,
so congratulations to you,
Thanks very
and
much.
well done.
Yeah,
We're all appreciative of it. Thanks, Tim.
Cheers.
We're going to talk about